Hello again, friends. I wanted to do something a little bit different, so I'm trying a video log today to see if this is something that I could pursue in the future. I wanted to discuss some primary topics. I've missed out on a lot of things that I really could have been posting to my YouTube channel that I haven't really had the opportunity to, and I'll explain why I didn't have an opportunity to do those things at the end of the video. The main topics that I'm going to cover are going to be Legion, the upcoming Set 17 support that we've seen so far, the upcoming English meta that's coming out, and probably other things that you don't really care about. And then some things that you do, like my experiences with Lock-On Victory. All of that being said, let's jump straight into it. I already have a blog that discusses my feelings on Legion, and the first thing that you'll notice is that I don't really care that much about Legion. It's not that it's not an important mechanic, and it's not that it doesn't change the gamescape significantly. It really does. However, the biggest thing that I was concerned with is that going first in Vanguard has always been an extremely overpowered mechanic. Of all things, going first has been the biggest determiner as to whether or not you win or lose. And while playing skill, deck competency, and other things can factor into that, going first is still an overwhelming, almost stupid advantage, especially with the addition of 12k beaters and there being no 8k archetype vanilla grade 1s. This means that you ride a 7k grade 1, they go second. If they toss out a 12k beater, that's 10k shield to guard. Even if you hit a damage trigger on their Vanguard attack, they're still going to be swinging in with that, and there's nothing you can do about it. It really just makes unboosted grade 2s way too strong for the early section of the game, and it's something that I've always thought was really unhealthy. I feel like archetypical grade 2 12k beaters should be restricted to grade 3 usage like the originals were. And right now I'm actually not very happy with how that's progressed. That being said, Legion is something that requires your opponent's Vanguard to be at grade 3 to accomplish. Since this is the case, this means if you go first, you're going to hit grade 3 first, so you cannot Legion first. This gives the player going second a slight advantage to come back from and utilize to try and get the one-up on you before you can get the one-up on them. I think that that's a pretty significant step in the right direction that Bushiroad took, and I think that it will help the game out significantly for not caring so much about who goes first automatically being the winner. There are still several problems, and going first is still an insurmountable, almost stupid advantage, but this is, like I said, a step in the correct direction, and I feel very positively about it. I don't even so much care about Legion as a mechanic, just as it helps rebalance the game state with things that are already broken. The fact that it fixes certain things, even if it breaks other things, helps bring the game back towards a central balance, and I think that that's going to be the most significant aspect of Legion. That being said, I'm really disappointed with how Bushiroad is continuing to support certain clans. Grand Blue's new Legion that just got released, Pinot Noir, it's not very good. Like, I was really hoping that they would get something spammable, maybe abusable, like Counterblast 1, Soul Blast 1, bring a unit back, or Counterblast 1, Soul Blast 1, sack a card, and then bring a unit back and draw a card. Combo plays like that would have made Grand Blue a whole lot better. Just the introduction of a Legion that's like mill 3 and then bring a unit back, it's not that strong. It really felt underwhelming, and I wish that it wasn't vanilla after you Legioned. It's just a big hitter, and it doesn't do anything else. I mean, the Gold Paladin trial deck stuff can get away with that, because Gold Paladins are already over-supported, and hitting something off of the top 3 or top 4 can help out immensely. And they combo play together. But the Legion mate, while it's not a bad card, is just Counterblast 1, if you Legion, bring this card back from the drop zone. Why, Bushi? Why can't you give Grand Blue something nice? I mean, their set 13 support might have only been 7 cards, but they were 7 pretty good cards. If Cositus had the ability to shuffle cards back into the deck and didn't have to worry about milling out, it probably would have been the strongest reverse unit, but that didn't happen. So, what ifs and what could have beens don't really matter. At this point, Bushiroad has definitely made a rift between Tier 1 and Tier 2 support. Double R clans have popped up, Murakumo, Grand Blue, Mega Colony. They've just decided that these are going to be double R clans. They're never going to be any better than double R clans, and they're going to get support as if they are double R clans. That being said, I think Mega Colony got off pretty good for being a Tier 2 clan. I think that Bushiroad really has taken a step up for Mega Colony just because of how much everyone was complaining about them not getting support. So that being said, I do think that there is hope for the lesser used clans, and other clans that are considered strong that are tier 2 might actually have a chance to rise up and be something pretty good. That being said, I don't really have too much else to say on what's coming out in Japan other than the new deleters. Deleters look pretty sweet, but everyone's like, ooh, what are they? What are they? And someone's like, I think they're Murakumo. And I'm just like, it's Link Joker. Their mechanic is flipping something upside down. It's Link Joker. Even the movie booster set has Link Joker listed as one of the supported clans and nothing new. So there's no mystery here. We know what it is. So it's nothing really that we need to stress ourselves too much trying to figure out what it could be. That being said, I'm going to switch topics over to Lock on Victory. I've been playing Lock on Victory pretty intently. I already beat the game and then completely started over and gave myself a self-imposed hard mode challenge. In this challenge, I am not allowed to use any booster sets that I do not have 100% completion for the previous set. So like, I have to have 4 copies of every single triple rare, and then I also have to have 1 of each SP in the previous set. Well, 4 copies of every single card, not just the triple rares. And then I'm allowed to move on to the next set. So I'm almost done with my first playthrough. You get to play through each of the schools, and you can do whichever schools you want to after you've completed a playthrough. So I'm going through the first school. I decided to do Miyagi first this time. And as I'm going through my playthrough, I'm sitting here and it's like, I've gotten thousands and thousands of these Vanguard points. It's 3,000 points for a box, and I'm still sitting here at set 2, just trying my best to win with Spike Brothers. It's not going super well when you're fighting Dauntless Dominate Dragon Reverse, and you're using Grand Blue. Set 2 Grand Blue, where Bass Kirk is the best Vanguard option that you have. Good times. So it really has turned out to be a hard mode run. I've been able to get my way through it. I've been able to work through with some cheesier decks. Invincible Overlord was working very well for me at the start of things. Kage Royals has really picked up for me because they don't really guard intelligently. They just wait until they're at 4 damage to guard the Vanguard attack and wait until they're at 5 damage to guard the rearguard attacks if they have 1 critical. They kind of ignore on-hit effects, so Nubatama in my previous playthrough was really, really broken. That being said, I still think that the game is incredibly fun. I'm going to wait until I have significantly more cards before I try playing online, especially since all of my decks are set 2 and below. But the self-imposed hard mode challenge has been really fun. Really dumb, really, really hard, but still pretty fun. That being said, I'm going to be posting some more Lock on Victory videos. I don't really have a good setup for recording my 3DS, but I'm going to try and get a more stable camera setting for my phone, because my last video I was just like, yeah, it didn't go without being too shaky, but that's something I'm going to work on. After Lock on Victory is the upcoming meta in English. I'm kind of sad because there's nothing in set 14 that I want. There's only 1 card that I want, and that's Liberator Burning Blow, and that's just because it looks awesome. It's just like, and yes, I am seriously going to build a deck, a Liberator deck, around Burning Blow just because I can. I mean, 7k boost, he's a 21k attacker. I mean, why wouldn't I do that? Why wouldn't I go for that? He's amazing. That being said, set 14 really doesn't have too much for me, but it does have a lot for everyone else. Ashley Reverse is a Counterblast 1, hard +2, and all she has to do is lock a unit. That's incredible. Dauntless Dominate Dragon Reverse is probably the strongest card in the set. His synergy with his own Break Ride and his ability to hit for enormous power rows. I mean, if you do a 2-to-pass and you're at, say, an 11k Vanguard, and if he has a 7k boost, if he checks a trigger and then a non-trigger, he's still going to break that 2-to-pass. So he's a really strong card. He's just an incredibly strong card. And his ability to just mess up your back row and be a cross ride all at the same time for single counterblast and a mild lock cost, he's amazing. I think that that's going to be probably the strongest set 14 deck. Nouvelle is probably going to overshadow it for a while, but I still feel like it's a stronger deck overall. That being said, set 15 I'm super excited about. You probably got that impression because I'm going to be using that to upgrade my 1 set 14 deck. my Liberator Burning Blow deck with all of the ball-ins. We're going to be balling. And that's going to give me an insane unflip engine and all of this front row retirement with Blaster Blade Liberator. And it's going to be a pseudo rush deck because I'm only running 4 grade 3s. They're going to be Liberator Burning Blows just because I don't want to ride any other grade 3 than Liberator Burning Blow. So I'm just doing it to be silly. But set 15 brings other amazing things like Drag Ruler. Drag Ruler, as you've seen with my Drag Ruler 101 video, it's the best Ragey style deck that's ever existed. Literally, if you're playing a limit break dependent deck, they decide whether or not you win. The only thing that you can really do to stop them is to have 3 perfect guards in hand and hope they don't hit a stand trigger. Well, maybe 2 perfect guards and then like 20k shield just to be safe. But yeah, you have to rely on them to not hit a stand trigger after they've thinned their deck of all of their non-stand triggers. It's nuts. It's one of the best decks that I've ever seen. So Drag Roller Phantom is going to be a really hyped up deck in the English meta, and we're actually playing it correctly with 12 stands. I know that one thing that kind of really bothered me about Lock on Victory was that Ren has 12 critical in that deck and 4 heal, and I'm just like, what? That's not how you play this deck. And, well, that's probably why he lost to Kai. That being said, I'm also super excited about Mega Colony. Cyclomatus, which I refuse to pronounce as Cyclomaduth, even if they make that his official thing, Cyclomatus just sounds awesome. Cyclomatus is incredible. The fact that he force rests them means that even if they hit stand, well, no, if they hit defensive stand triggers, it'll still get around it. But even if they're standing when your battle phase, or when your ride phase happens, you're still going to force rest everything, and they're going to be forced to be staying rested. That's incredible. The fact that it locks the Vanguard down, and with the upcoming Fighters Collection going to be coming out at around the same time, that Counterblast 2, if this attack does not hit, keep their Vanguard at rest. It's going to be great. There's going to be so many options on the table, and I think that there's only a few decks that are going to counter it, like Liberator, Holy Shine Dragon. So Mega Colony, look out. It's going to be pretty strong. Well, that pretty much covers the state of Vanguard as I see it, but I'm going to discuss a few things that you probably don't care about. So one of the reasons why I've been as inactive as I have been is that I've been playing a lot of Lock on Victory, which that's my fault. That's really something that I could have worked on. But another major reason is that I've been injured lately. I couldn't walk about 3 weeks ago, and this was because I had some kind of inflammation on my knee. I could not straighten my leg all the way, and I was walking around on a cane for a pretty good amount of time. Anyone who saw me judge at the Ohio events was able to see pretty clearly that I couldn't get around very well. That being said, my legs are significantly better. I can walk around just fine, and I'm super happy about that because not being able to walk sucks. That being said, my wife is dyeing her hair pink again. I don't think that's relevant, but one thing that I am very happy about is that for the first time in my life, I now own a Batman shirt. Another thing to be excited about is Mountain Dew Baja Blast, now available in bottles. Other than that, I really don't have anything. It was an interesting experience for me to do something like this, something that's a little bit outside of my comfort zone, because when I record videos, I get a million retries to try and say it the way I want it, to make it sound the way I want it. And when I'm doing this, I have gone for about 14 minutes just going at it. It is an entirely different beast. And once I got talking, I was pretty comfortable with it, but up until that point, I was just like, restart. So I might try and do this some more, I don't know. But I'm kind of not sure how it's going to go. So I hope you guys liked it. And if you do, then I could perhaps do this some more. Anyway, it was an interesting experience. I will hopefully be seeing all of you later.